Hey,
Go ahead.
hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? I'm
Yes,
Lay,
I'm Izzy.
and this is Lay&Izzy's Introspection Connection.
Episode
This
three.
week,
Episode
episode
three.
3.
Three. Yeah, we haven't gotten
I
canceled yet,
almost forgot.
surprisingly.
Uh, all right. So before we start, I just wanted to clarify. I know I mentioned that I was in a car accident. I just wanted to clarify that I got hit by a van. I'm not gonna say the kind of van. It was a company, but for legal reasons, I don't want to get into it. But I just wanted to clarify that yeah, I wasn't inside of a car when it happened. I was on the street and came out of nowhere, and yeah, just wanted to clarify.
All
So
right.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
All right.
no worries.
Uh, I
Oh
can't
man,
see my screen. Hold on.
you're kind of blurred out.
Re-
Your
no, it's
your
the
background is
recording.
blurred. Oh.
Mute. Okay, there we go. All right, because I couldn't see you on the
All
screen.
right, no, and just for clarification, I'm not editing any of this out. This is real raw, and this is us. All right. We
That
don't
is
have
true.
We do not have there's no fancy editing team. You're looking at the
No.
man that does all the editing. But yeah, anyway, um, yeah,
Because
so
I
and
don't know shit
uh, oh god, this is a train wreck
about
already.
editing.
This is a train wreck already. My headphones are slipping. This is a train wreck. Hold on, can y'all see? We're good. All right. Obviously, if you're gonna listen to this, I shouldn't be asking if y'all can see me, but for the people that are about to watch this, I gotta ask that question. But yeah, man. So Lay, how was your week? Let's start off with that.
Well, I had to do overtime every day last week, 10 hours. And I mean, I'm just happy I got through it, but it could have been better. So, I mean, it's better now. I look forward to recording over the weekend because it's a breath of fresh air.
Oh,
So I really appreciate that
oh.
because despite all the BS, I'm happy. I smile. I try to just get through it. And how was your week, by the way? I know
Uh,
you were
Interesting. Just
and
I
interesting in a good way.
Um,
Uh-oh.
depending on how you want to take it, because you know the story that what we talked about off air. But I mean, for me it was interesting. I'll just leave it at that. Maybe I'll tell that story on a future episode. But for right now,
Yeah.
we'll just leave it at the fact that it was an interesting week for your boy Izzy over here.
I don't know. It's just been that way this year. Like it's been a never-ending roller coaster. So it's like you have your good weeks, then you have your shitty weeks, and then it's a combination of two the following week.
Yeah,
Like you can't win.
yeah,
But
that's exactly it.
don't worry. These dark days are not gonna last forever. They're not here forever.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
I definitely agree with that. Um, yeah, so perfect segue into what we got going on this week, which is some of the daily obstacles that we face on a daily basis. Uh
yes.
I we thought it would be appropriate to talk about some of our day-to-day obstacles. I mean, whether you're differently able or not,
Mm,
everyone faces things that, challenges from day to day. It could be as simple as, looking for your glasses when they're right on your head.
I'm
Let's not
there.
get into that. But what do you call it?
Been
No.
there.
No, but in all seriousness, what do you everybody deals with, obstacles, and as the old saying goes, It's life is what is it? Life
Life,
10% of 10% of what happens and 90% how you deal with it, or something like that.
thinking of the Forrest Gump quote, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. But
No, I
I
mean
went elsewhere.
that can fit too. That definitely fits. And it's true because you never know what can happen from day to day. Um, but let me start with you, Lay. Like what have been some of your uh recent day-to-day obstacles, if you don't mind getting in.
My recent ones.
Or you no, or you can talk about,
What?
life, daily life obstacles. It doesn't matter. This
Well,
is why we're here.
I could talk about the recent ones that
Sure.
I've been like discussing on Facebook. Our upstairs neighbor, he he's just pretty interesting, and it's like you try to be the good person,
Mm-hmm.
you communicate and everything, but it stops, and then it just like he stops, and then it just starts up. His shenanigans starts up over again, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, why?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I don't get it. Like, I understand no one's perfect. I understand we're going to get our fair share of interesting people, but it's still frustrating. So that's the recent day-to-day obstacles that I face personally, honestly. And as for my past obstacles, well, hmm, because there's a number of them too. So, oh my God, you're gonna have to come back to me. You could say yours.
All right. So for me, it can some of the obstacles that I face on a daily basis could vary from day to day. I mean, it could be transportation issues.
Oh.
It could be, like medical stuff. It could be it just a whole plethora of things. But
Mm.
let's talk about those aforementioned transportation issues, man. So for those of you who don't live in the New York area or may not know, there is a service called Accessoride that helps
What
helps
did they do now?
helps to differently. Oh no, I'm gonna get into
Uh-oh.
one story, but there is a service called Accessoride that takes the differently able community from their homes or places of residence to wherever they need to go within the five boroughs. So the problem with this is uh well, there's a whole laundry list of problems, but the problem with Accessoride is, like, say you schedule a trip for 12:30 and you gotta be at your destination by 2. So they come in to pick you up at 12:30, and you're ready to go. Everything you think is gonna turn out well. But say that accessoride that was supposed to show up at 12:30, and this is a very common problem, doesn't show up to maybe 1:15. So now,
Oh my
and
God.
depending on where you have to go, and for most times a lot of times it's Manhattan for me. So
Oh.
like I frequent like the Upper East and Upper West Side, so it's it cuts into the time, and then you got to take into account New York traffic and all the other BS that goes along with it. And also you better hope and pray that the vehicle that you're traveling on, in addition to being late, doesn't have anybody else that they need to pick up after you, or drop
Mm.
somebody up before you, because then it becomes a whole different thing, and and you're just kind of like stuck, just sitting there, just and not being able to do anything about it. So, and as far as them coming late, like they can be late, but if God forbid you're like a minute or 2 minutes late past your pickup time and they're sitting in front of your destination, they will leave
Yeah.
and then you will get screwed. And yeah, it's happened to me quite a few times. But most notably on a not a recent trip, but one of the trips to our sister Carmen's house, like in the Bronx, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
we had just finished having a wrestling pay-per-view party as we do every month, and we try to see each other. But so that particular night, I was supposed to leave at 11:30. And okay, so I go down a little bit earlier because doesn't her building, it has security that's got to let you in and out. But
Yeah.
after a certain time, it after a certain time, the security is not behind the desk, and you just gotta hope and pray that there's somebody going in or out that can get you in and out of the building. So that particular day, I got downstairs, was waiting for security or whatever, and Accessorite had claimed that they were outside in front of the destination when they weren't, because I know I got there early, and they said that the driver took off or whatever. So in that case, here's what you have to do. In that case, you have to they have to they have to mark you as a no-show, which if you have too many no-shows, then like your service gets suspended and stuff like that, and then it's a bitch to get it back. And then if
Jeez.
they have to they mark you as a no-show, and then they have to get you another trip. So you're on the phone like 15, 20 minutes just trying to get another trip. Then on top of that, they tell you to call back in another 30 to 45 minutes to confirm the new trip that they're gonna get for you. And
Oh no. What the?
then no, wait, and then there's one more
Uh-oh.
thing. And then after you confirm the trip, you better hope and pray that it's very close to the time, very close to a decent time, and not having to wait another 45 minutes or hour waiting for them to come. So yeah.
Fuck.
Um so in turn, that night I ended up getting home at, let's see, was supposed to leave at 11:30, probably home by 12:30, because there was no buddy that I was supposed to travel with that night. So
Mm-hmm.
in short, I ended up getting home at oh man, what was it? 2 a.m. and 2 a.m.
My
because of
God.
all the
Oh,
waiting and everything. And
goodness.
yeah, and I'm stuck, and I'm like on a street corner in the Bronx, man, and it's like, oh man, I'm not
Yeah,
from
you never
here.
know what's gonna
Yeah,
happen,
exactly. Oh,
who you're
oh,
gonna
there.
encounter.
Speaking of encountering, there's a story about that too, if you wanna get into that. About the lady
Yeah.
that I think I told you this, did I not?
Yeah, you told me. Didn't it happen this week?
No, no, no,
Or
no. No, no, not
oh,
the
okay.
story, not the story this week. The story of the lady that when I was waiting for accessor right in front of our sister's house. This lady came up to me and like was like asking about my sex. Like, did I tell you that story?
I think you did briefly. We talked about a lot.
All right, just in case you
Oh my
forgot,
God.
I'm about to tell the world this one. So here we go,
Oh
fucker.
man.
Here it is. So there's this lady that, as I said, I was waiting in front of my sister Carmen's house after one of those pay-per-view parties to go home, and it just happened to be raining a little bit that night.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. I got my hood on and my jacket, and I got a bag over the controller of my chair so that doesn't get wet. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So then she comes up, she's like, "Hey, how are you?" And I'm like, hey, do I know you? And then she's like, no, you don't know me, but you know, and here's the thing that we talked about last week. She's like, oh my,
Uh-oh.
here's the thing that we talked about last week. Oh my God, yeah, you're so inspirational. You know, you like
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. Yeah.
I see you
That
out.
story.
No, no, I don't think I told you. No, not about the emergency. Not
No,
that
it was
original.
the other. Okay, I'm sorry. You told
Yeah.
me a lot.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
So yeah, she starts off with the whole inspirational spiel, and I went over that on last week's episode. And so then she proceeds to ask me about my sex life. Or before she did no, before she did that, let me back up a little bit. Before she did that, she proceeds to tell me that she is on her way to a booty call in Far Rockaway, and I'm like, and talking about how good it is, how good this man is about doing what he does, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay, that's nice. You go ahead and enjoy yourself. So you think the conversation would end there? She's like, I've always been curious, and I hope you don't mind me asking this, but have you ever had sex before? And uh and I'm like, I would answer you if I know you or we're just talking about it, but I don't know this lady from a hole in the wall. So
Right.
I kind of awkwardly answered, I told her I'd rather not, speak on that. She's like, she's like, oh, it's okay, it's okay to be a virgin. And I'm like, really? And then that I was gonna keep in mind, I was probably gonna use my go-to line that I always use when women ask me about my sex life, which is you want to find out. But this I did not want this lady to find out anything because nah, she wasn't doing it for me. But what do you call it? Yeah, so that was very awkward, and then and I'm like, okay, good night. Hope you enjoy yourself. Get to where you're going safe, and I will see you when I see you. And that's how that one ended.
Oh my God. You be encountering the most craziest of situations and people.
Yeah. So yeah, that is how that one ended. But
God.
yeah. Yeah. So we this is whew, man. Yeah. I don't know where to go
Whew.
from here, but yeah, let's transition into something because I don't know where to go from here.
Well, I still gotta come back. Well, I still gotta talk about other what was it, obstacles that
Yes.
I all right. So I talked about my present. Now I gotta talk about my past obstacles. So hmm, damn. Because the thing is it's a lot. So I'm trying to like pick one out that
I mean,
resonates with me.
it's fine if you like you don't like kill yourself over a memory or something like that. Don't stress it too
No,
much.
I know. It's just I think about that a lot. I guess which is also another day-to-day one is just trying to figure out my next moves. So,
That's a good one.
meaning like I've accomplished so much, but then I'm like, now what? Like
Oh,
since I
man,
turned
for me.
35, I'm like it's weird. So like since I turned 35 a month ago, I feel like I finally grew up, quote unquote. Like I'm finally going through like what it means to be an adult. So it's like everything just started flooding or like just coming at me left and right field. And I'm like, how the fuck do I handle this? Like, there's life insurance, there's thoroughly budgeting, there's this, there's that. And I'm like, we're not even in like month 3 yet. And all of this is happening. And
Right.
like, can I enjoy this new age? No. That's it's never been that way for me. It's like I always have to be in the moment and to be the real one, like, oh, so yeah, that's a big obstacle. It's like a current obstacle, and then it's like a everyday obstacle with
No,
me. It's just,
hey, that's perfect. And man, yeah, I've experienced that too. I'm a little older. I'm about to turn 37 in a few
oh,
weeks.
you're not
So
that old. No.
uh, yeah, I'm telling you, I'm 37, but I feel like I have the my body is the body of an 83-year-old. But you
I
know,
feel that too.
and and it's funny because I talk about this so much. I always emphasize the fact that when we were kids we were rushing to be adults, and now that we're adults it's like, oh, what the fuck, why did I rush things?
Yes. What the fuck?
Yeah, seriously. Ah, man, but this has been an interesting episode, man. And
Yeah, man.
there are going to be plenty more stories like the one you just heard on my end in future episodes pertaining to different topics. But oh
Can't
man,
wait.
uh yeah, you can't wait, and I'm sure the world is going to be clamoring for this. But what do you call it, man? This is, oh man, it's how is this for you, Lay? Before we wrap up, do you have any closing thoughts?
I wanted to piggyback on your experience living in New
Sure,
York and
sure.
with the transportation. When I was living in New York, it was always the fucking subway. Like the fucking subway. Like, I woke up early, I'm refreshed, got my coffee in hand, my Dunkin'. Have to throw that in there. Anyway, so
Not sponsored.
I'm no, no, I mean if you want. Anyways, okay. So okay. So I'm like, I got my music in my ears. I'm feeling good. I'm like, I got this. And then get on the train, whatever. And then all of a sudden it stops. So they're like, oh, we got train traffic ahead. Or, oh, there's a sick passenger.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, all right. And, we're waiting like 20, 30 minutes until like, the sick passenger or the train starts to work. And every time, man. That's one of the main things I don't miss about.
Oh, yeah, you're in Jersey, but you're a
Yeah.
short ride away from New York. But what do you call it, man? This has been another interesting episode of. Oh,
Yes.
and by the way, before we wrap this one up, but yeah, before we wrap this one up, I know how I had told you about this, and I wanna just kind of end the episode and future episodes with an inspirational or uplifting quote, and I think I have one. Uh, the
That's a great
legend,
idea.
the legendary Oscar Wilde once said, "Living is the most rarest feeling in the world because most people just merely exist."
Mm, damn.
Okay, yeah. So this
Wow.
is this is our reminder to you to just live your life to the fullest and just kind of take the good and the bad and roll with the punches.
And don't let the dark days bring you down because they don't last forever unless you allow them to. You are responsible of making these changes for yourself. And it's always good to have some sort of support system because tell you, sometimes the dark days can take a toll on us and we can't take ourselves out of it. But that's that's my advice to you guys. It's just like just remember the dark days will not last
That is that is
and
some
situations.
that is some very profound advice that everyone not just every one of not just our listeners, but everybody in general should live by. Um, and with that being said, I am Izzy,
I am Lay.
and this has been another scintillating episode of Lay&Izzy's Introspection Connection. We will see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace out.